I'm from San Diego originally. There's a crazy one there. Oh, God.
I want to see the one in St. George.
Yeah. I don't know if you talk about Mormons a lot, but that's usually the second thing people bring up after soaking. I have Mormon family. I've never once in my life, I talk about Mormons all the time, and I've never heard that they baptized Hitler posthumously. I have never heard that. Is soaking real? No, soaking is real. But that's like a BYU thing. That's like a young Mormon thing. I know about like the old Mormon shit because my grandparents were old Mormons and no one in my family went to BYU. Soaking is real? Yeah, so is jump humping. Soaking is real. No! Older Mormons just swing and stay really secretive about it, or they're just gay and are really secretive about it. Anyway, we got way off topic.
More of this.
So is what?
I want to see weird man being pooped on.
Your grandparents probably soaked? Wrong. They got
No,
they were divorced and remarried, so they were well into their old age before they got together.
Here.
Yeah, they did it normal style. Soaking is for premarital sex.
They just got married back in the day.
It's not sex, technically. That's the loophole. You just put it in there and leave it. And then somebody jumps on the bed, like a third person jumps on the bed, and that causes like a friction, and that's jump humping.
I feel like it's a good thing that soaking exists because it means people aren't getting married as soon as they are like...
I mean, it is better than rushing to get married just for sex. That's not a good thing to do. Mormons baptize the dead, even Anne Frank. Thank you for this. I will watch this off stream because it's long as fuck. Oh, Speaker Johnson on Meet the Press. I'll eat that too. Delicious. So I believe soaking was a real thing, but I legit thought jump humping was made up. I mean, I don't know how popular it is. But it is a thing. Holy shit, it does look like Wolfenstein. That's really funny. Anyway, let's continue.
She's lying. She was a soldier. She was a combatant. They lie about what they did. Now, you know what makes it clear you're a Zionist? You're angrier about that joke. You're angry about that.
Jump humping sounds like fighting game tech. Oh my God, you're so right. I'm jump humping right now. I'm Korean wave dashing. I'm Korean jump humping.
And you are about here.
Where do they jump? Like monkeys jumping on the bed. Your friends are soaking and you're jumping on the bed, and it's not sex according to God. It's a loophole. They don't have to get married.
Klein kidnapping a random Palestinian man in the West Bank on a raid,
or use protection, which I believe is also part of it, which is weird as fuck. That's strange.
You openly admitted to. You're angry about
a third person, yes. A third person literally comes in to help non-sexually. It's not like a freaky like menage a trois. No, the third person is not sexually involved at all. They just jump on the bed.
Me making fun of her.
I don't know why that's so funny. It's a funny concept.
It's definitely still sex. I'm joking.
West Bank by choice, by the way. She chose that
Let's
transfer.
Continue.
You're angry at me for laughing at that, but you're not angry at her for forcibly disappearing a man in a terrorist raid. Yeah, you're a definite real anti-Zionist, Ryan. You are the most anti-Zionist of all the anti-Zionists. This guy...
Yeah, and it's the same shit for people like Ethan Klein who say like, oh, I'm a staunch advocate for the Palestinian cause. And it's like, bro, your wife kidnapped somebody. Your wife kidnapped somebody in Ramallah, in the occupied West Bank.
Claims to be anti-Zionist, and he claimed that Biden and Kamala were trying to stop the genocide in Gaza, by the way. According to Ryan here, he posted...
He was mad at people like me saying don't vote for Kamala. Like, he was like, when Kamala lost, he was like, oh, tankies won today.
8 fucking months into the genocide,
come on.
Kamala has pushed for a ceasefire in Gaza.
This was a year ago. No, more than a year ago. July 30th. Kamala has pushed for a ceasefire.
And just an utterly insane thing to say, by the way. The Biden administration did nothing about Gaza at all. Nothing, literally nothing. Trump did more. You see, when Trump came in and immediately did a
And we knew this. We knew this at the time. There's no excuse.
ceasefire, the Biden administration could have done that at any time. The fact of the matter is they put no limits on Israel, nothing. They didn't negotiate shit. They didn't want to either. And Biden administration officials have openly said this. They've bragged about it. Senior officials in Washington, according to Israel's Channel 13 News, admitted that the Biden administration did not, and it was fucking obvious at the time. Everyone's
Good Night Wars remix.
been saying this for fucking ever.
Thanks
And
for
this
being
guy
here.
somehow thinks they were pushing for a ceasefire. He saw no evidence of that. He saw no reason to believe that, but he still spread that narrative. This is an anti-Zionist, apparently, by the way. This is an anti-Zionist. Despite the White House's public messaging about restraining Israel.
Yeah, punching left always works out so well. Please, DNC needs to just listen to the base. The base is much more progressive than they think, but they'd have to piss off the donors and corporations in order to do that. Yes, exactly. Is Ryan Beard no longer MB? No, I think they're still MB. But I don't think Bad Empanada knew that when Bad Empanada recorded the video, but his description uses they, them. So I think he learned after.
He said they, them interchangeably.
Oh, does he just, oh, he might have just slipped
Ryan
up on
just
it.
doesn't care anyway. He
Oh,
doesn't,
okay.
like,
I know it's not
say-
like a hard line.
No, Ryan's not like, correct me.
The internal consensus appeared to be that the administration had no intention of exerting real pressure on the Israeli state. I need you to
Says any pronouns? Okay, there you go.
understand why this guy thinks this. For one, he's a liberal. Obviously, he's a Zionist, even though he says otherwise. He's a liberal. For two,
Didn't they walk it back? Ryan went on Destiny's stream to try to defend their own non-binary identity and was embarrassed and harassed so severely in the aftermath of that stream that he went back in the closet. That is what happened, yes. Which I felt horrible for at the time, but he's since simped for Destiny. Like, he made his content nuke or whatever, but like, he's simping for Ethan Klein.
You gotta
And
wonder-
Ethan Klein defended Destiny in his content nuke. What'd you say?
You got a longer cable.
Oh, maybe. I don't know where.
I'll find
Off the top of my head.
See if there's one. Probably have one that's the same thing.
Imagine losing to Destiny so bad in a debate. I don't even want to see it, dude. That debate was so embarrassing about his own identity. I don't even understand why you would do that. But Destiny's not even a good debater. He's a moron. He's illiterate. He can't read. We should watch it? No, it's just embarrassing and it's old. But it's just like that's why Ryan went back into the closet, and like I felt really bad, but
I don't.
it's just like I don't even know. I don't even know why you would do that. But I guess now he uses all pronouns, so there you go.
as it says here, the White House's public messaging about restraining
It's
Israel.
non-binary
He sees
response,
work.
but if you're gonna act like you're like cis and like whatever, like I'm not gonna treat you any different.
What do you mean act like you're cis?
Like, it's just like, it just is like identity politics shit. It feels like it's like.
I mean, you don't know
when
his
it comes-
identity.
I don't, but I have like an impression from like the shit he shows. And it just feels like, I don't know, like he
I mean,
weaponizes everything.
Being a
so-
non-binary liberal is weird. That's just weird. Like, most liberals are not even on your side. They're moving away from even recognizing non-binary and gender non-conforming people or intersex people at all. They're
Yeah.
like, it's a MTF, FTM, and anyone else is weird. And that's the Brianna Wu effect.
And like if you're kowtowing to these people that think that, and you're like, but I am too, but I'm also like, and then like you back off from like identifying like outwardly as that thing. Like I'm like, you're not about that life.
Yeah.
Like you can say you are whatever you are, and I'll like believe you, but like you may as well be cis at that point.
Trans libs are so odd. How are you not a commie? Yeah, it's a great point, and I think it comes from privilege. I think it does. I think it literally has to, because if you are the kind of person who has never had to like miss out, had never had to be on the receiving end of like the pressures of capitalism in America, you're not going to understand communism or like why people are so passionate about leftism. You're not going to be a part of the movement. You're not going to be a comrade unless you go out of your way to understand material conditions, which many do. But some people are taught that lesson without even being told what that lesson is. it's a hunger, I think, that is instilled in working class and people who have grown up like poor. Like my family was on food stamps and shit. And you want to like you see someone like Elon Musk or fucking Katy Perry going to space for fun or ruining the government because they're bored. In the case of Elon Musk, playing video games all day and doing ketamine every single day. You know, the lies of meritocracy fall by the wayside, and all you see is they have a fucking treasure trove of money. And you and your family that have broken their backs to put food on your table and still can't pay their fucking rent have nothing. That's it. There's the haves and there's the have-nots. Liberals don't understand that because they don't want to be serious about class analysis. It hurts their feelings. They're like, oh, well, some people are nice. Some rich people are nice, right? Oh, come on. What if I get rich? I won't be mean then. And like, it's possible to be a rich class trader. Hassan's a good example, but that's few and far between. Anyway, yeah, ContraPoints interviewed Hillary goddamn Clinton
Ugh,
in a friendly way.
don't remind me.
Oh, that was my breaking point. Like, she had some like lib ass takes before, but I was like, girl, you are in range, and you asked softballs. Why is she so lived up? Privilege. Look at, I mean, privilege.
That money hit.
Look at how rich she is, damn it.
That money hit.
That money hit, she got her surgeries. She got her shit taken care of. People love pulling the ladder up behind them.
Don't trust.
What if they need it later?
I'm sorry, y'all, but just because somebody is trans, especially if they're white, don't expect them to like be like, here,
Yeah.
hold my hand, take my hand. They're gonna be like, yoink.
Yep.
Especially if they're white. Do not forget that the closest thing to a white man is a white woman.
Yeah.
Do not forget this.
That's true.
Words and thinks they're
Who are
actions.
we on about? I was venting about ContraPoints.
This guy thinks that Biden pretending to cry, or I don't even know if he even pretended to cry, but let's imagine that Biden pretended to cry about children from Gaza. Let's imagine that Biden pretended to cry about children from Gaza, right? And then he went and like signed over like another bomb shipment. This guy sees the crying, and that's what he pays attention to. He doesn't pay attention to the actual actions.
Yep.
It's fucking zero IQ shit, man. Just zero IQ shit. Where's the anti-Zionism? There's nothing, there's none of it. This guy,
White people, I'm transparent, always making things worse. Listen, white isn't a race. White is an identity that you choose to identify with in your own personal politics. You can be labeled by other people who are affected by the black-white
You will be
dynamic,
labeled.
and you will be. But, yeah, white is not inherently a race, and you choose whether or not to participate in that label. I'm not white. I'm Italian. I'm Irish. I'm not offended when somebody calls me white because I understand in America, sure. But like, not that long ago, it's a little more iffy. And I don't participate. I'm not a fucking like white identitarian. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, there's like liberals and conservatives have both utilized the fact that black people make that distinction for their own political purposes as like a victim narrative to force even liberal white people to operate on white identitarian and white nativist policies, like the border, for example. It's crazy. If everyone's Italian, no one's Italian. No, I'm definitely white. I'm not saying that in like a real way. I'm saying that in like, when you strip away the politics and the aesthetics of it, white functionally doesn't exist as a demographic of people, you know, within like white people. I am white, but my wrath for white people is unending. Yeah. People who wear whiteness on their chest and use it for their fucking political purposes. It's ridiculous. One of my best comic professors said, you can't help it if you're white, but you don't have to be white. And I think that helped a lot of students. That's a good way to put it. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna ask you to do something, but I did it myself.
Okay. You are whatever the cops think you are? Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
By the way, this guy is clearly totally unequipped to call anyone an anti-Semite, to make any sort of claim to be like an anti-Zionist. He knows nothing about the topic at all. And his views on the topic are clearly tinged by the fact
The victim, Ethan Klein, just posted another story accusing me of child sex crimes, which is way more serious than anything he's ever said, because it's actually slanderous.
Accusing who?
Bad Empanada.
Oh.
It's actually slanderous to Bad Empanada, where nothing he has said about Ethan Klein or Hila is slanderous.
Well, he just made him do that.
And Ryan responded with, I will be honest with you that I've been a fan of Ethan ever since high school. And that does probably give me a personal bias. I'm trying to be as objective as with all of this as I can. I will definitely criticize him for that in the video. If he wants to complain about being sued for defamation, he shouldn't be defaming you constantly and the guy he's being sued by. But you know, that's a different issue. Play the video of him touching himself to a minor. Ugh! The guy's disgusting and exclusively operates off attacking others. I'm planning on it. That video was insane. Definitely crosses past just edgy humor. So how are you still defending him? I don't get it. I'll be honest. I've been watching him since I was 15 and a little baby, and I don't know anything.
I just
Act
haven't
like-
thought for myself at all.
I'm a grown-ass person, and I can't even read a book about what I'm talking about anymore.
he's attached to Ethan Klein. He admitted this to me privately. He has a personal attachment to Ethan Klein and his content, and he really wants to find some angle to defend him, some angle to give him good grace. He's like, I think Bad Empanada is an anti-Semite. He's a doc.
When did I say Noah is an anti-Semite? I don't think he is one. I do think Bad Empanada is an anti-Semite, though. Why are you fucking conversing with him in DMs, then, if you really think this? And I don't dislike Bad Empanada because he's too far left. I dislike him because he's a serial harasser and doxer and horrible person who believes Jews aren't oppressed. And we should stop caring so much about anti-Semitism. What? What the fuck are you saying? What does this have to do with anything? He thinks Jews aren't oppressed. He believes that. And like, in the context of the genocide, sure, I bet he does believe that. I'm pretty sure he does. But it's interesting that the genocide is not in context here. It's like he's just talking about Israel for no reason. Doesn't he know there's Jewish people there?
And a horrible person who believes Jews aren't oppressed. Yeah, they fucking aren't. Where are they oppressed? You can't tell you, can he? This guy, 3 years ago, he thought that Israel and Jew was one and the same, and he's here to lecture you about who's an anti-Semite and who isn't. 3 years ago, he said that Hitler thought his country was superior to Israel. And he's here to tell you about how he's the real anti-Zionist and the other anti-Zionists go too far. This guy also constantly shows up in like the chats of like the H3 podcast.
This is true.
H3 orbiters. This one is from like
Weirdos.
this disgusting H3 orbiter called Papa Gut. He shows up.
Freaks. Just a bunch of fucking weirdos, dude. Bad Empanada is such a good researcher.
Dude,
Up in his-
he's been doing this since he was talking
did this
shit
to
about
me, too,
us,
yeah.
And then he did it
Chat,
for
and he's
so
like-
long that he's getting called out by another creator for doing the same thing for a totally unrelated topic.
Who the fuck is Papa Gut? Some like
fucking
right-wing drama loser.
Like, did you hear that IDubs followed me and then I criticized Hamas? Well, look at them. They support those damn.
Did I ever tell you iDubbbz and Anissa used to follow me until I criticized Hamas? Yeah, buddy. That was the exact moment that they stopped. They made a video about, they were talking about me in other people's chats using like right-wing talking points that aren't even true. So like clearly, I mean, what's obvious to me is that Ryan watches an inordinate amount of YouTube content from right-wingers and extremely questionable sources. He is a YouTube consumer through and through, and therefore knows nothing. Yup.
When he's a leftist, supposedly.
I tried to tell him what was going on.
Don't be rude.
While he was posting in fucking Nazis' Twitter replies about Lex. And I'm like, you know me. And I had like a full conversation being like, you know me, and you are talking to Nazis about my partner instead. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he kept being like, well, I just don't know what's going on. And I had to fucking explain like he was a baby. That if you don't know something, you should ask the person you're closest to instead of speculating with random morons that are using the person you're talking about as clickbait. And then, you know, he unfollowed me because I said Rashid wasn't a fucking Houthi because there was no evidence of it.
I've been had him blocked.
And then he started talking shit about me in random little fucking Nazi sniveling fucking bitches chats.
I try not to
Annoying.
block other creators because I don't want some loser that I don't like to be screenshotting that I blocked them to like their little friends or whatever. Because there are a lot of other creators I don't like. But Ryan is the one person, if he showed anybody I blocked him, first of all, it'd probably be some fucking right-wing loser that I have blocked too already. Second of all, whoever he would show that I have him blocked, I would be like, yeah, I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit's just fucking annoying. Oh, do you want to turn your mic on?
I'm still messing with
Oh,
it.
she's still setting it up. Did you just change the cable?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I was flipping it around.
Yeah.
I don't like it upside down.
I see. That shit was just fucking annoying, and
Shit sucked.
like, it just goes to show no matter how much charity you extend to Ryan Beard, even directly one-on-one in DMs, he always wants to be bad faith if he's assuming, if he's already operating in bad faith about you. He's just trying to catch you in a gotcha the whole time. It was so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
but I didn't let go. I was like, no, I'm having this conversation until you give up.
You get to see
Like,
him
you
when
don't
you're just,
understand.
like, he'll like be a little pussy in DMs and then talk shit.
Yep, and then he just goes to other people's chats or
And
other
talk shit
people's
in
fucking
public.
tweets. Yeah, and just publicly starts yapping. It's so fucking annoying.
Meanwhile, he was like being.
He conceded all the shit that I said and then never DM'd me again and unfollowed me after I challenged him again on fucking Rashid because he's a pussy. He's a pussy.
Well, and then I think he did that to make it sound like that's why he wanted to unfollow you when he was already pissed off about.
Yeah, it was definitely because I fucking called him out in DMs.
It's like, bitch, don't talk
Just
about
an
my
excuse.
girlfriend.
Yeah, don't talk about my partner with fucking freaks that are making videos about her.
About some shit you
And
don't
he was
care
literally,
about.
and he was posting like, I wonder what Lex is even thinking. And it's like, you could literally talk to us, you freak. What is wrong with you? Like, it's just so weird. Again, it's just, you are YouTube brained.
I love
You
that.
love watching YouTube, and that's where you get all your information, and you can't fucking process any other source.
It felt
Crazy.
like being tortured, having fucking assholes like that being like, what is Lex thinking? When I was literally going through the worst time of my life. Like, what do you mean, what was I thinking? Thinking about what? What does it matter?
Yeah.
Why wasn't she like doing the thing I thought she should have done? That's weird. I don't like that. I want to make some shit up now.
And it was all shit that you talked about, like trying already or like having done
Yeah,
and
but
didn't
no one
work.
listened to me
No.
because they all just wanted to like re-upload like the spiciest parts and not listen to the actual shit.
Yup.
They're like, it's too long. Could somebody TLDR it?
Genuine question, because I don't know it. You don't gotta answer. What was the whole deal with you and Lex and right wing freaks? I mean, do you want to say it?
I mean, where do I, like, when you're friends with YouTubers and your ex assaults you and they work with those YouTubers, so when you tell them, they're like, "Ah, damn, that sucks. My job, though."
My magnum opus.
And then a lot of shit happened where they just kind of like iced themselves out of my life. And
Like on purpose. Like it weren't.
yeah, I was like
Very
I was
obvious.
staying at their office, and instead of just telling me, hey, can you like blah blah blah, or like, I don't know, just talking to me, they like got their employees to talk to me. And then I was like gone, and they were like, hey, can you like be gone? And then I got robbed the next day, and it was just like our friendship was like broken.
They ghosted you after they tried to get you to meet with the guy to talk it out, and they
Yeah.
admitted to this. And then after that didn't work, they never talked to you about it again.
That was all after that.
Bullshit.
Like, I don't even like to people one thing were always like, you talked about Super Mega more than Dawn. I don't like to think about him. I barely like was able to like talk about what even happened.
What affected you the most was how they reacted.
Yeah, I would have been fine, like, aside from what happened, if I
directly,
had
yeah.
friends that, like, supported me at the time.
But they asked to keep him around.
They were like, hey, can we still make videos with him? And then got their old artist to draw in his art style, like nothing ever happened.
So they
were,
wouldn't
like,
have to talk about it.
They were, like, making it so
Piden bago.
public facing, it never, like, was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Like, obviously no one knew what happened, but like him being gone was like even covered up. Like they
Yep,
didn't want
every
it to
part of
seem
it.
like
Anything
something happened
Yep.
suddenly that was bad. And that's what it was like. It felt so icky because it was like if I wanted to say anything, then that meant that they, like, whatever they did was also like on my shoulders to like, do I like not talk about the stuff they did even though it was fucked up and just like everybody find out on their own that like they were covering that up, or do I talk about it because it was fucking me up? Like both of those things combined.
Yeah.
And like affected my life afterwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just when I talked about it online, a lot of people were like,
My favorite YouTube channel.
well, it's not even that. The thing that had the most effect on me directly wasn't even like random people online. It was like other creators that liked them more. That was like, no, actually, I'm gonna agree with all the right wingers saying that you're suspicious.
Yep.
And
Or that you're lying.
And be like, and hand wave it away and say that like, well, actually, these are my boys.
Yep.
Like,
Very alienating.
everyone that like didn't talk about how they acted with me, that like knew them, that was like a mutual friend, like stopped talking to me, and like even if they were wronged by them, defended them, which was crazy to me because there was like people I'd met with that cried to me in person around that time about them, that
How they treated them.
and like went back and defended them because they were like, people are being mean to them online.
The idea that people were criticizing them online somehow broke people's brains in like some like they were all trying to cover and protect them under any circumstances, and it let them make their response video that was literally called like my response, which is how you know every single time it's fucking bullshit. You know who else did that? I'm Alex, Russell Brand. The list goes on for people who respond to fucking allegations with my response. But you know, most of it was complete fucking bullshit and lies, reframing shit and using and weaponizing literally their audience to attack Lex and everyone else that came forward about them. It was fucking gross. Like they weaponized everything they fucking did. Because they knew that their audience, they saw how their audience was treating us and they wanted more of it. They wanted to keep that pressure on so no one else could talk.
Well, and I think that, like, even though before everything happened, I was like, my numbers were way better before all this shit happened. Like, people were like, she did this for clout. I could have gone my whole life and never said anything and would have been way, like, 2 times more clouded up than if I had never said anything, I promise.
Yeah, and we would
I've
have had
done
way more
nothing but lost
connections.
followers
Oh,
ever
yeah.
since.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I can do about it except for, like, live my life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's just, like,
This was a few years ago. Like
2.
2023, 2 years ago.
like, there's the amount of, like, people that I thought, it, like, literally changed my world. Like, from from, like, friends of friends that supported them, like, went out of their way to support them.
Or like just silently unfollowed with like no fucking context or like investigation into what happened. They're just like, oh, there's some controversy, bye, like never see you again.
And, like, if you guys ever see me not saying something nice about another content creator, likely chance is because they were one of those people that either, like, silently unfollowed, treated me weird, or, like, straight up, like, backed them up as, like, in reaction to me, like, in a way that I would see it. And it's just, like, I don't know. It's hard to, like, be online being that guy when, like, the basis of like online stuff is having a community and like talking to other people and all that. But like, I don't even want the future that I would have had if I didn't say
No,
anything,
it would
because
not
I
have been
would have
fun.
been friends with those people. I would still be in LA right now. Everybody that I hung out with in LA, like like except for maybe like 2 or 3 people, like I wouldn't be able to like. These are people that I like don't trust now that I wouldn't have known any better, you know? Like, what I can only imagine how much worse situation I would have gotten myself in enmeshment wise, or some sort of weird,
Like toxic.
yes, because we found out by trying to get rid of other toxic connections in our life, other people that were toxic were like finding reasons why they suddenly didn't want us in our life in their life anymore.
It was like very convenient shit that would happen, like, oh, it's just so hard, I don't know, like, I don't know. Some shit would come up conveniently in the aftermath of that, like when we were going through it, and like that's what happened with like the Alex Rosen shit, was because I was already on so many of these people's radar that when I made a video about that guy, they instantly doubled back and made like longer videos that talked about like everything with Lex and the shit that I said about Alex Rosen, which wasn't wrong, and I stand by
Yeah.
everything I said, but they were taking it in bad faith and cutting it out of context because I was already on their radar in one way or another.
Yeah, and like also just the fact that it was like somebody that they could pick on, and they knew that like it wasn't a Hassan situation where like people always
I had
defend
no
Hassan.
fucking shooters because people didn't know what to think about me anyway.
Well, the thing is that people had already like made their decision.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in our personal lives.
Which is fucked up because when the Alex Rosen shit was happening and I was like getting called a pedophile for calling out someone who said 17-year-olds are attractive, and fumbled multiple investigations, I called him out for that, and everyone, his fans were calling me a pedophile as like a victim and like someone who's like gone through shit like that, and it was super triggering. And that happened to be the time where like most of like my LA friends distanced themselves from me, and they knew what was going on too. Pretty much everyone in LA that I talked to stopped talking to me around that point. And it felt like they believed it, which was so fucked up. And that's part of why we left. Like,
I mean,
they know it wasn't fucking true, but like,
I mean, the thing about us leaving was it was like fake about me, and that was
Yeah.
like the part that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know if you want me to even talk about that, but it's like kind
we
of
can get into
fucked up.
another time. I just,
Like
It
it's
is
just
fucked up.
it goes so deep.
oh shit.
Oh, hi.
Maple Takes, thank you for the raid.
That's a crazy time to raid.
I know, crazy time. We're fucking venting about stupid shit. But thank you so much, Raiders. Welcome in. Chuck Dies, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Pride. Oh yeah, come for Pride.
Guys, sub up, follow up.
Sub up, follow up. Raiders,
Mr.
welcome in.
Pants.
We were watching a Bad Empanada video at the moment.
We got into
But we were
got
venting.
into a tangent talking about toxic cycles because we are talking about how right Bad Empanada always is.
Do you want to turn your mic on?
Sure.
My name is Eden, by the way. CEO of Trans Women, declared best name on Twitch #1. Thank you, trans women.
Is this thing on?
You gotta turn up one night.
Is this thing on?
Say it.
Thing on.
Can we watch the
that good?
Jordan Peterson Jubilee after?
Yeah, we can watch the Jordan Peterson Jubilee today. It's Sunday.
You should be able to make our microphones 2 different things on your OBS.
Can't do it now with this one. I gotta get a different audio interface to do that. Chuck Dies, thank you for the gifted sub. 26 total. What the fuck? What the helly? Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you again. Maple Takes for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Sorry, it was a weird time to raid. We were venting about other shit.
We're talking about some real shit.
I'm getting a little too real with it. But thank you.
Asked you something.
Wait, where?
Oh.
Do you think it's part of the culture of LA, since it's so influencer based? If anybody has bad press, they'll just stop talking about you or cut you out to protect their brand. Yeah, except for the guys that did weird shit. Except for the guys that were actually weird because they had more clout. There's
mean,
a
that's all it
calculation.
is.
There's a calculation of like how controversial
It's like
and how much clout someone has
it's
to
like
be
a
worth
formula.
associating with. Yes.
Like if you have enough followers,
People cover for
just be
Tectone.
like, yeah, people just be like, I pretend I do not see it.
Yep.
If you're like small time and you're also like a trouble to people, they're not gonna even bother with you. Like,
too real with it, and that's fine. Like, that's why I just like decided to talk more about like shit that mattered to me and like Palestine, and moved away from like influencer content and drama. And like, it happened around the same time where I was just like, I have to make shit that matters to me. I can't make like throwaway content about anything anymore.
And it's just all that to say, it's really funny that like this video was made for the same reasons that like we had a problem with him previously.
Yeah, it's a balance
Or
of
like something that like no, only like really people in this chat like have like kept up with.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
streaming the last
accurately.
like couple years has kind of chronicled like
All of that.
at least like, you know, location wise.
Or whatever you felt like talking about.
It's a balance of how much clout they'll get from sticking with someone. Yeah, exactly.
it's like
short or long term.
Yeah.
How is Alexa's audio, by the way? We're trying the 2 mic setup. I got to get a new audio interface
We
so I
could
can
switch
actually.
out mine and yours. if-
Oh, that would be nice.
Mine has 2 different ones.
Yeah, a bit
I
quiet.
only
Okay.
use one by myself.
Yeah, that would work.
But mine has the little audio level. Or you could get the same one. It was the SSL2. I got that one.
True.
It's good.
Very transactional. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Well,
and I
I mean,
always
that
have.
is what, you know, big number.
Legible but unamplified. Oh, okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
I think that's better. A little soft, a little more.
It's unfortunate because I actually very much like LA. Like,
I liked being
It's-
there.
I love going shopping in
I hated
LA.
the traffic.
I don't mind the traffic because I know it'll be there. I like the beach. I want to live in Los Angeles, the beach.
Hey, Chuck Dice, thank you for the 10 gifted. What the fuck? We're at 23% piss for the day. Thank you very much. LA's in dire need of robust public transportation. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
they
they
only got that
privatized
little-
that shit already, so good
They
luck.
only got that little train going through like one street next to AX. So
Barry, thank you for the 10 gifted. God damn,
Y'all
not
are
to be
pissing
outdone.
up. Y'all are pissing
Piss up. 33.
Piss up on a Sunday.
Hype train, I think, is starting.
Piss for Lex and Ethan now.
Piss up on
or Eden
Sunday.
now. Oh my
Worship.
god. I haven't said our names together like that together.
With Lex and Eden.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry. I didn't mean to say it.
It's like Max and Ruby.
No.
What?
No, I said Ethan, not Eden. Like I'm your like a
Oh,
mom.
I
I'm
didn't
talking
even
to
hear
Mom.
it. I
Mom says that
literally-
all the time. She's the only person that says it.
That's okay. Chuck Dice, thank you for the gifted sub. A snipey.
I don't think
Symphonet
I've
needs a
ever
snipe as
like
well.
dead named you.
No, literally didn't even hear it.
Yeah, well, it sounds so similar.
I know. I did that on purpose.
But also, it's nice.
Oh, happy birthday, Beyond X.
I remember
Beyond.
when you first told me it, I was like, like you, but you said it in a list of names, so I wasn't like,
Yeah, I wrote
didn't
down a
want to
couple.
interrupt you.
My name is Max and my brother's dog is Ruby. That's cute.
That's based. You guys are both rabbits now.
Another snipe. Thank you, Chuck Dice. To Symphonet. W Chuck. Thank you very much.
Somebody said, me
for
and
sniping. I
Ethan
was
Klein
checking
are
my-
hanging out right now.
Is it weird that Ethan Klein has your old name? Yeah. No, it was weirder before. I just
Yeah,
remembered
it
in my search
was.
for anything on Ryan's socials about their pronouns, I found him retweeting Nick Diorio. Ew. Post you muted. Account you muted. Account you muted. This video's insanely slapped on. This guy has a show called Rape Review. I'm not joking. Dr. Tacos 138, thank you for the tier 1.
Can we get some piss?
Can we piss up? Yeah, that's epic. Yeah, slapped on. Based. Sorry. I have no life 26, thank you for the tier 1.
Yay!
I chose my name and realized 2 months later it's the same name as my toxic lesbian ex's best friend. Okay, that's not that close of an association. That's like the Spaceballs joke. I am your brother's cousin's sister's roommate's neighbor. College roommate.
I'm like self-analyzing. I don't even think I like dead named you. I think I just faded and I like fucked up saying your name.
Oh, that's okay. Tanya, thank you for the gifted sub. Holy shit, you guys are pissing.
I heart women.
I heart women.
Oh my god! Did
Tanya,
you see this huge water?
thank you for
I
the
got?
gifted sub. I saw that huge water. I like it. Thank you. Wait, where did that come from? What the fuck? Oh wait, it was before. Where's the bits? I didn't even see what it was. Who did that?
70 hearts women.
Fuck.
300 bits.
Wait, where do you see that?
The blue and the purple on the.
Oh, there it is.
You see it because it has purple in it.
Matt Unlimited. Thank you for the 300
Unlimited.
bits. I heart women. Thank you very much for that.
Unlimited women.
And Tanya, thank you for the gifted sub. Let's continue. I want to
We're
finish this
unleashing
video.
the women right now.
Unleash the women.
Unleash the women.
Islamic
Can we get to
resistance
50
fight?
women?
Unleash the women. Flood the piss.
Can we
Open
get
the
to
piss
50
gate.
women out of 100?
Yeah, one sub equals one women.
He's anti-Zionist, and here he is bragging about how he criticizes.
Okay, last thing. Oh, that was the bits alert again. Thank you again for that. Last thing, thoughts on Hunter Schafer's Zelda W, obviously.
Based.
Literally a no-brainer.
Hamas, a normal thing
You'd
to
have
do.
to be stupid to not have thought of that.
If you're thinking more than 5 seconds about it, you're transphobic, and I don't make the rules.
For an anti-Zionist is to go to a
make
Zionist
them.
stream and
I read
try to
them
curry favor with them by telling them how much you denounce the resistance and making fun of people who, according to you, didn't want to associate with you anymore because of that. Yeah, dude, real anti-Zionism here. This guy is making a video about Ethan Klein, he says. So I talked to him privately. He did not want to come on stream, but I had a bit of a chat with him. Indeed.
I would chat with Ryan on stream.
That would be awesome.
I think Bad Empanada should as well. Or I think Ryan should go on Bad Empanada.
DMs, not voice. And he does not know much, okay? He really doesn't know what he's talking about. He did not know, for example, that the Nakba started before the Arab states intervened. There was so much.
He will DM you, and I wonder if it's because he's looking shit up as he goes. Or like doing chat GPT. Like, what are you doing right now? Why can't you talk on IRL?
I think he's just going off vibes.
I guess reading the conversation's easier.
Well, like,
much stuff that he did not know about.
know.
Very bad.
when you're a white guy, you just say stuff loudly, and if nobody corrects you, then you're right.
That is true. Maybe he's just used to that. Even though he's non-binary. You look at a picture of Hunter and you look at a picture of Zelda, it's the same picture, easiest casting ever. Specifically like Twilight Princess and like Brawl Zeldas. There was something else. Fuck. Damn it.
Basic stuff.
Guys, stop chatting. There's too much in chat. I can't read it. If he went on Bad Empanada, Ryan would get laughed off the internet. He went on Destiny and almost got laughed off the internet. Like,
I don't think
he can do this. This is so much easier. Bad Empanada's nicer to him than Destiny was. Destiny was calling him the R word and shit.
Stuff that you would expect an anti-Zionist to know about. So that he thinks that he has any right to pronounce on this sort
I
of
was
stuff.
joking. Everyone chat. Everyone type in chat.
It's just Dunning-Kruger manifest. It's
I
just
don't want to even read any of it. Just go too fast.
someone who thinks they know
Put your
everything
favorite
and
number
who
in
also
chat now.
wants to play both sides at the same time. He wants to be liked by both sides. But there's no both sides here. There's no centrist angle to this. Zionists are Nazis. The time is here for you to
That's not a
put your
number,
money where
that's
your
a
mouth
letter.
is. You've denounced Nazis. You've said punch a Nazi for all this fucking time. Well, here's the time for it. Here's
awesome.
the moment where you can put that into practice. Zionists are the
Don't be
modern
rude.
Nazis. Zionists are doing a Nazi-style racial genocide. Where's the energy for that? Why are you looking for ways to apologize for them? Why are you looking
That's
for
what I like to see. I
ways
like
in
to
which
see
you
a
can
fast
sympathize with
chat.
Ethan
It's almost
Klein?
like we're
As long-
a thousand viewer Andy.
We're 1,000 strong. Will this boost us in the algorithm?
We have 1,000 watchers right now.
Yeah.
Don't
Zionists.
look at the
Wow.
number. Don't look at the number. Just type a number in chat, and we'll have that many people. We'll manifest that many
True.
people to watch our stream.
You know how unfiltered BE is? He'll rip Ryan's liberal brain apart.
He won't even. He's like too dumb to understand his arguments. Is the thing. When you're like too dumb to like understand good points, you're just like, yeah, but
And then you pivot to a gotcha.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Bad Empanada would try to walk him through logically, like he does in this video.
Why? Because you're not
But
an
maybe not.
anti-Zionist, ultimately. Because
Wait, if we're bringing up Ryan and chatting other people's chats, they had words about you after the Yemen pirate argument. They fucking suck and are not a leftist in the slightest. Holy shit. Harsh words.
Block.
Oh yeah, Ryan Beard owns you, little bro. This is
4
what they were
likes.
saying. I'm not friends with Eden anymore after she justified anti-Semitism.
And
Thank you.
And told me.
Anne told me I was
Oh.
victim blaming when I got mad at Lex for lying.
Anti-Semitism is literally the shield in the sentence because he put it first. He's
Very
like,
cool.
anti-Semitic,
Very
All right, you're gonna listen to me?
progressive.
Okay, anyway, he said I was victim blaming. Bro.
Lex never lied about Nick. Nick lied about Lex, though.
Bro. Like,
But Ryan was friends with Nick, so I think I understand the
Nick
situation.
acted suspicious.
Chuck Dice,
and
thank you
did
for another gift.
suspicious shit.
Another 10. Holy shit, thank you.
And then I showed where I talked to him, and he just never talked to me again. But I'm like weird somehow. It's like I didn't do any weird shit like he
He
did.
literally never talked to you. Like,
I
what
said
the fuck?
what I said, and then I left it.
I'm still just as much of a leftist, but Eden makes other leftists look like freaks, which he releases terrible videos, like the Alex Rosen one. I didn't even remember that he posted this. That's crazy.
He was seething, bro. Hand shaking while typing.
Again, how many YouTube drama grifters are you watching where you're like, you think that was a terrible video? What was so terrible about it?
It's
No,
awesome.
tell me what was wrong with that video.
Other bigger men said it was terrible, so that means he has to listen to them. 'cause
Yeah.
He's little bro.
When was this? July of last year. But don't worry though, if Eden calls you a pedo, that just means she wants you to get free therapy. Lol, alright, I need to stop. Oh, do go on. Yeah. What? I believe in the market creating solutions for pedophilia. Like, free, forcible therapy and psychiatry in a isolated facility away from the general public.
You telling me people wouldn't be down with asylums for pedophiles?
Call them fix-em-ups.
But
No, he
but-
just thinks you should gun them down, I guess. Just fucking go, grrr,
but
that'll
Eden-
fix it.
But Eden's weird. But Eden's the weird one for thinking that you should
Yeah.
do the not killing option.
Sorry for
the not killing
being
them option.
sorry for being the adult in the room. Jesus Christ.
No, when you don't like a guy and he do a bad thing, you kill them.
Again,
you shoot them.
I'm not saying this
Which
from
makes sense why he
Yeah.
was also calling you an anti-Semite. So
cool stuff.
because you don't
I got
believe in
owned.
instantly killing people you disagree with like that, or like somebody that like did something that isn't good. I understand. Oh, is that really the
This is
tweet
what
that
they
it
were
was on?
replying to. A tweet where I just said Chevrolet Toyota. That's awesome. I still had no idea that anyone had a problem with the Alex Rose event. It seems so normal. It's like I had no idea that people hated Dark Souls 2 until years after release. That's really funny.
Okay,
I am
guys,
the Dark Souls 2 of YouTube.
That this released so much trauma for me just now because this was our life where we were just
Yeah.
posting shit like this
And people
then
were being
guys were like,
insane.
hey guys, did
You're
you know
clipping
that
me.
so and so doesn't like you? And was like posting this shit, and it's like, what am I gonna say to that? Everybody fucking doesn't like me right now. Who's gonna be like, yeah, he shouldn't have said that?
And you ignore them one time and they do it 100 times. That's why I blocked them all, because it's like, dude, you gotta stop for your own health. Please. Like, it's not okay to be doing this for you.
The thing-
It fucks me up, but you're like dying. You're dying. You're shitting yourself.
It's like they didn't. It's not that they got stunlocked by that post. It's that it was on every recent post.
Yeah, they spammed it on everything.
Anytime you posted, they were like, time to remind them why I don't like them, even though they're not responding to me.
And Ryan felt the need to jump on board while this was happening. Like,
I
it
wasn't
was just
even
so
posting,
offensive.
I don't think.
No, you weren't online at all, really. Like,
And I think he was taking advantage of that because I wasn't posting.
I'm
Or this was
retweeting.
like right after I started. I don't even remember if I was posting again by now.
This was a really good post.
Chevrolet Toyota.
Chevrolet Toyota. Anyway, yeah, that's just the fucking world that we lived in.
I felt like I was insane.
Yeah. It did feel insane.
It's nice to be able to talk about it like this right now.
I knew one day we'd be able to at least laugh about it, because at the time we were like, this is just fucking crazy, but it's gaslighting. It makes you feel like a crazy person. It's funny. Moist Critical agrees with you on Alex Rose, and he hates that guy. Why does the king of normies get to have that position, but you can't?
Because he's taller than them.
I guess
And
so.
He's not even that tall. He's like 5'10" or something.
So stupid. This is what it's like used against innocent people. Back then, gay people used to be called
He's
pedophiles.
5'6".
I'm trans, so I get called a groomer. I see killing pedophiles a slippery slope. I'm trans too, but yeah, that's also why it like has intensified since then. Like the same people who were doing all this shit are now in my replies, if I haven't blocked them, or making new accounts literally to call me the T-Slayer and other such funny, awesome things, and post like 4chan Wojaks, which is like the most like you're the most mad if you looked up a fucking trans Wojak to post in my replies.
I keep telling
You're
Eden.
seething.
I keep telling Eden we gotta start posting pictures together. It'll make him really mad because half the insults are like something to do with like either like not having sex or like
Being like a virgin or porn
being
addicted
a virgin
or something.
or being a
Miss P,
gooner. It's
sorry
like-
for interrupting this morning event bold to donate a wig for kids with cancer.
Oh, cool.
You won't
Good
dox
job.
myself by giving my individual link, but can I get a shoot to one mission?
Yeah.
They are the charity I am donating to.
Anonymous gifter, thank you for the gifted sub. Also, what was it called? One Mission? Under God? Pediatric cancer charity, Buzz for Kids. That's awesome. I didn't buzz my hair, but I donated to a charity like this in high school because I grew my hair out really long. It was longer than it is now, just a little bit. I'm excited to pass that. W baldness. When I'm on hormones for a while, I might shave my head. I think it's slay when really feminine people do that.
I did her hair.
Yeah, Lex did trim my hair. It needed a trim really bad.
I trimmed it and blow dried it.
I looked like a cave woman.
You look so pretty.
Now I look better.
No, it's nice. They're even now.
So funny.
Yeah, I think it looks nice. Thank you. You did a good job. I don't support killing pedophiles with the death penalty for anyone. That's what I said in the video, too. It's not about whether they deserve it or they deserve it. It's about protecting our own humanity. I agree with that. Like, on most things. Like, of course, I can be emotional about shit. I can be emotional about all kinds of shit. I was victimized by a pedophile when I was, like, 9. And, again, when I was 16. Like, I have experience, and I am building a perspective from experience. I'm not just saying shit that I don't understand. I'm talking about shit that has affected me and that I care about.
It was like hard to see you like upset about.
I was
how
really
people-
upset about people calling me a pedophile.
It was like-
fucked up. I didn't deserve that.
It was like an innumerable amount of days that it ruined, just for like. That's like triggering. Like if you've ever had like been like a victim of like CSA, like having someone like accuse you of being weird in that way is just like fucking like shattering. Like you could never like think about even doing something like that in the way that like someone that like usually the thing about CSA is that it is so wholly like life altering most of the time that you form your whole person. It's like you know when a stump gets a knot in it, your whole like personality forms around that
Yeah.
trauma.
What about victims killing their own abusers? That's justified. I'm always going to take someone's side in that situation. But that, again, that's an emotional argument. I don't think we should legislate based on that. But I think, it's case by case.
But
Legally, anyway.
all that to say, just usually you would avoid doing anything but that action because you are like so like altered by that thing that you're the exact opposite of that kind of person because of how that person affected you.
Yeah.
Usually because they made you be that person, right? But it's like a maladaptive behavior.
For sure. And I think, like, while it did fuck me up really bad when it happened, it's like, as a content creator, it's like the worst thing you could have people say about you. And especially, like, it obviously isn't fucking true. And it wasn't even, like, what I was saying in the video. Like, it was so many levels of, like, dissonance with how I felt and what was actually the case that, like, I don't know. Like, it was just baffling. And it, like, fucked with my OCD and, like, my identity in a lot of ways, but eventually I kind of like, I don't know, I just got over it. Because I was like, these people are crazy.
Well, there's only a limit on how much cortisol your body can make you have over something that isn't actually physically hurting you, and then you just are like, like you just kind of stop caring, even if it like doesn't feel good.
Maybe a weird comparison, but Matt Lee had a Holocaust survivor on his podcast, and he was talking about being called a capo. Can't imagine how backwards and offensive that must feel. That is crazy, for a Holocaust survivor to be called that. Holy shit. But I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but it does feel like, I guess, close. That kind of like impossible, like it just like doesn't line up logically with like who you are as a person, or what's happened to you. They're inventing like an entire fiction about you. That's what's like distressing about it. But eventually, like I had to realize it's not something that like, if the truth is true, then I don't have to run away. I don't have to hide from these people. I just have to like let sunlight expose it and just show up and prove that I'm a regular fucking person who, you know, isn't the person they're lying about. But unfortunately, people like fucking Ryan, who, you know, claimed to be friends with me or whatever, wanted to associate with me at one point, believed those videos. Like Ryan was talking about me like one of those fucking crazy videos about me. To one of the guys that was in his lyrics' chat or whatever, like that, he made videos about me, about that fucking video, and it's like, I don't understand, especially as a friend. Like if you thought I had a bad take, you could have told me. You didn't need to be venting in fucking in a drama YouTuber's chat.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway, I want to finish this out. Because that's kind of how we got started on any of this anyway. It was related to the video at least.
We got yapping.
I appreciate y'all listening. It's stupid. It's dumb. But it's what we've like been through. And it's definitely shaped like a lot of our POV.
Here at the Peden is Online broadcast, you're going to get the realest of the real.
That's right.
Reality TV real shit.
I can't be faking.
We're not fighting or getting the cops called. We're just talking that real shit. Believe it or not, fuck you. I don't care. We're going to keep saying it because that's our life. And you know what other people ain't doing? That.
True.
See how many... all these other folks, they're like, oh, I
it.
only say nice things about other people. Like,
There's plenty of other people that say mean stuff about you. Shit. Oh, we also got to fucking 51% pissed, by the way. I just realized that. Thank you. God damn. I didn't even see it. It was too fast. The floodgates. So much for the tolerant left. No, there's plenty of other people to shit on and hate. Why me, damn it?
90% of the shit I have to say about most online content creators, whether they are left or right, not to be a hashtag centrist, is going to be negative. But the thing is that when I do praise someone, you know that I mean that shit. That I think highly of that person. I don't give out compliments like that to people that are like peers, quote unquote, like whatever societal
or whatever.
like categories you think that we would be together. Other content creators are like people that I have to be exceptionally like, I don't know. I want my words to mean something. Yeah,
for sure.
Like, you know that when I like think highly of someone, they're like the few people I'm actually like, I like this person, but I won't say like I like this person like them. I'll be like, I like that they do this.
Yeah, it's specific.
Because saying I like this person when you're not like a friend of theirs is such a slippery slope that has taken me down many roads that are like ones I regret having gone on, that I don't even like to like reflect that behavior anymore. It makes me sound very negative, but if you like understand me being like, it's like how I'm like analyzing things and being critical. I'm not trying to like be negative. I'm like, unless I'm just like, this guy looks like he eats boogers. But like, I don't know. That's just kind of shooting the shit.
True. Sometimes we're a little silly. I don't know if that's legal anymore.
You're not actually anti-Nazi.
Y'all are my favorite internet couple. Thanks.
Ultimately, it was all posturing. It's easy to say punch a Nazi when the Nazis aren't really any real significant threat. It's a lot harder to say the same about Zionists when the Zionists are doing the same exact thing that you
really
claim
good
to be
point.
against this whole time. 3 years ago, you said that Israel and Jews were one and the same, and that if you thought Israel was a shit country, you were basically...
Audio a bit echoey, yeah, because you're
Turn that shit down. I'm gonna fix your audio tomorrow.
Okay.
Adolf Hitler. You believed the narrative of there being this great anti-Semitism crisis, and you just spread it uncritically. You know, the question to pose to these people is, okay, so if there's an anti-Semitism crisis, if there's massive anti-Semitic oppression,
That should be a little better.
can you name us one group, like, in any place where there's a significant amount of Jews? Say, like, more than 500. Like, one group that faces, like, less oppression than Jews do. I can think of one group in the USA, whites. Nothing else. There's literally nothing else. So you should ask yourself, why is there such a focus on anti-Semitism? Why are you focusing so much on anti-Semitism? Why are you talking so much about anti-Semitism? It doesn't really make any practical sense for you to focus on it in such a laser manner. It doesn't make any sense for it to be focused on in the media in such a singular way. You're not interrogating that, are you? You're just smearing anti-Zionists as anti-Semites for actually interrogating it, for actually having a material analysis of the facts of the reality. And all that this guy ever does when he responds to me is he just says that I'm an anti-Semite. He never actually responds to my arguments. When I pose him the question in DMs of name one group who you think, aside from whites, are less oppressed than Jews, he couldn't answer the question. His answer was that he thinks that Jews in Iran are oppressed, which isn't the case at all. Jews in Iran are basically just the same as any other non-Islamic religious group. Like, bringing up Iran is the worst place you really could have possibly brought up. A Jew in Iran is basically treated the exact same as a Christian. And to be clear, the population of Jews in Iran, in the Middle East, everywhere else, it's minuscule, almost no.
There's a hum
No,
in his audio. We have the AC on in the back too.
Yeah, I can turn that down. It's not hot anymore.
Super interested if Ryan responds. True. I don't know if he will. I don't know.
He only makes like a video a damn year, so it's probably gonna take a minute even making the one that he's talking about.
The way this video concludes, I think, is very like.
I don't even know if he can respond to it.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
I don't know if he'd want to respond to it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look very. It would just attract more attention to him getting obliterated.
Oh,
I mean,
what?
and not even like it just looks not like a hashtag drama thing. Like it just looks he's. Bad Empanada is just so
Doesn't compare.
analytical.
Yeah.
I would hate for him to say anything about me.
You should just talk to him.
I would, because he would be the best person to like say you suck, because he would tell you exactly what's wrong with you and how to fix it if you actually listened.
Yeah.
When he talks about anti-Semitism, he's clearly talking about the West. He's clearly talking about the US, Europe. And I'll reiterate what I always said about this. In the US and Europe, there is no group, aside from whites, that Jews are more oppressed than. So it doesn't make any fucking sense about this, okay? It doesn't make any sense, the singular laser focus on it. It doesn't make any sense that we're even talking about it right now. And the only reason that we're talking about it, the only reason that the idea that we should, is it was even implanted in your head, is because of this narrative that you're seeing in the media and you're accepting uncritically, coming directly from Zionist organizations and from the pro-Israel media who want to spread it. And the fact that you're not interrogating this during a genocide, you're not interrogating how this narrative benefits the genocide and the genociders and the Zionists like Ethan Klein, shows that you're not an anti-Zionist, because an anti-Zionist would do that. It's not denying that there is anti-Semitism. Obviously there is anti-Semitism, though anyone who is interested in really denouncing anti-Semitism would be denouncing it in the context of it being weaponized against Arabs in an act.
Exactly. And against anti-Zionist Jews. I mean, they're literally systematically imprisoned in Israel for refusing service. Really off topic, but I want to do something nice. I draw goblins based off of plants. So Lex, can you give me a plant so I can give you a little goblin sona? Do you want a goblin sona? What's a plant that you like?
Well,
name a plant.
Monstera. With the little holes in it. The big leaves.
Monstera Hunter. Video game. Yeah, I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer.
Actual systemic way. Anti-Semitic tropes are being used against Arabs way more than they are against Jews now. to way worse effect. Arabs are actually being deported and attacked, not
Yeah, this is true and censored for their speech. What is this? To respond to confusion I've seen, my upcoming video is not just going to be criticizing Ethan, it's going to be deconstructing the entire situation between him and Hassan from October 7th onward.
Why? What a waste of time.
This is not going to be a good video. I will also be criticizing Hassan, iDubbbz, Bad Empanada, Destiny, and many more. Oh my god,
Hashtag
bro.
centrist.
Put me in this video, see what happens. Don't you dare. My intention is just to give as honest analysis and good faith criticism as I can from my perspective. Dumbass, uninformed perspective, while making sure not to lose sight of what really matters at the end of the day right now is standing up for Palestine.
Gay Pride Day.
But not the way the Houthis are doing it, because that's a bad look, I guess. Motherfucker.
You can't do it that way. It looks bad.
I'm just a dude who has opinions, and you can feel free to disagree with them. I'm feeling free.
Okay, dude.
All right, no more posting till I release the video. No, I'm not gonna. I don't think
Yeah.
he'll put me in this video because I'm not relevant to this kind of shit. But if he does, I'm gonna be pissed, mainly because it means I'll have to fucking watch it. Because I don't wanna. It's gonna be bad. I just don't want to see it at all. And if I'm in it, I want to be curious about what he said. So I don't want to see it.
What's that clip?
I'm a gamer. Autism.
actual systemic way.
You're killing me. You watched Shane's Not Cool. We also watched The Chair, which documented the entire making of Not Cool, and a movie that it won against in a contest. Bred to drama so played out at this point. These libs are trying hard to be relevant. That's kind of what it feels like. Like, what are you saying here? Like, what's the point of making a video about just everything that's happened on the internet since October 7th? Like, if you're making a point about how, you know, internet drama can affect people's perspective on political like conflicts and genocide, like, sure, there's absolutely analysis there, but people have been doing that. And I don't really think that's what he's going for anyway. He just wants to, like, talk about all what's going on. Like, yeah, like Noah's been talking about that. And he's just one example. They've been in the replies of Nick Ultimate Rape Review the Oreo tweets. Oh my god, bro. The response to Ryan Beard announcing his Ethan Klein exposed video has been odd to say the least. It's like not even a point. Ryan was part of Creators for Palestine though, and that started at least a year ago. No, I've never talked about Palestine before. Outside, oh, he's being sarcastic. Outside of like 10 videos where I've talked about it on my channel.
Man,
What?
I can't. He talks like types so like someone's granddad that it makes me like not understand his sarcasm.
That's so messy. I don't think it's messy. He's just saying like he's talked about Palestine before, which like these same guys say this to everybody, by the way. I get this all the time. People who don't even know you will be like, you didn't even know about Palestine until yesterday or a year ago or whatever. And it's like, it's a dumb argument because they usually just don't know and they're just throwing that out
Somebody
there.
responded. Oh wait, this was a day ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. What happened to Creators for Palestine wasn't supposed to be in March. Yeah, that the venue changed and it's been reorganized because there was issues with the there's issues with the like charity beneficiary and figuring that out, and they've had to like they've had to postpone it and then change the format because I think they're going back to a different format. I don't know what's like public and what's not. It's all in motion, but it is still happening. But the fact that it got delayed is why I did the last charity stream where we raised, what was it, 5.1 thousand for PCRF. I want to double that I want to raise 10K for PCRF and for Trevor Project, so 5K can go to each.
Let's go.
I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream this month. I haven't picked a date yet, but I will. I'll pick a date and I'll tell you tomorrow. And it's gonna be huge. 24 hours, potentially 48, including a sleep. I will sleep if I do 48. Yeah, during the weekend, that's probably a better idea. Like a Friday, Saturday, or a Saturday, Sunday thing. Or if it's 48, it could be even longer. I'm streaming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to take Tuesday off, but I'll be streaming tomorrow. Big, beautiful stream. I'm going to try to see if I can get some guests. I'm not the Honorable Noah Sampson, Esquire. I could try. I want to see if he'll come on, but everyone's busy. And I'm not. It's whatever. So I'm going to plan it as if I don't have guests and then confirm people as I go and keep things light. But I would like to have some other content creators join if they're interested for, like, we could do gaming. I'd like to invite some people in for, like, maybe Mario Party or, like, Night Rain. There's a lot we can do. Anything's possible. Get bad about it. I don't even think he knows about me.
Make him aware.
Tell
him, hey.
Get dead domain. Yeah, I could probably do that. I gotta go to bed now. Good night, my peach boy. Have a good night. Thanks for being here.
Not just in the US either, in
Samson
Germany as
kinda
well.
Looks like if we had a baby. Like his hair.
A little bit, yeah.
For example, because of these sorts of
Yeah, now Stickbug is streaming. How's that? How's that?
repurposing of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories against Arabs. So it's a fucking joke that you're focusing on anti-Semitism or supposed oppression of Jews in this moment. Even talking about it is a red herring, even talking about it right now, as if it's anything special, as if it's at all related, or
True.
it should be talked about at all in relation to Israel is ridiculous. In Israel, Jews are oppressors. In Israel, Jews are considered superior by law. To even talk about anti-Semitism in this context is a fucking joke. And if that makes you uncomfortable, you're not an anti-Zionist. Now, this guy is like, just honestly, I almost feel bad for him. I think he's in a cult. I think he is in like a cult where he started watching Ethan Klein. Who knows fucking why? I guess he was probably like a 12-year-old or something. When he was a kid, he became attached to him, like mentally attached to him. And this has led him to just apologize for Ethan Klein in the dumbest ways possible. Like, I honestly find it really unbelievable.
Don't be rude.
I think the point about the cult is very much true. I feel. It is very cult-like to defend a content creator like this. I mean, we were just talking about that. Like, oh, okay. The way people defend content creators is like similar to like stan culture, and it is cult-like. It's weird as fuck. And Ryan is definitely engaging in that here.
We stopped going to church and we started going to
YouTube,
to Twitch.
to iPad.
Well, I didn't actually finish my thought earlier. What I was going to say about the video that he's making on
Adam
Ethan
and
Klein.
Eve with the Apple and turned to our Apple iPad.
True. Deep.
He's going to try to have his cake and eat it too. He's not going to do what you should do to a Zionist, which is unequivocally denounce them, unequivocally detach yourself from them, denounce them as what they are, a genocidal, racial supremacist beast. What he's going to do is he's going to be uncritically accepting Ethan's victim narrative, spreading the like CPS narrative, probably even the skulls, honestly. And he'll make like some light criticisms for the sake of fake nuance, for the sake of being able to say, hey, look, this isn't just an Ethan Klein glazing video. I said one or two negative things about him. And I think there's two outcomes here. Either it's too critical for Ethan Klein, because Ethan Klein can handle very little criticism. And he ends up getting skewered because of that, both by anti-Zionists for essentially making a video whitewashing a Zionist and attacking anti-Zionists for being in conflict with Ethan Klein. Because he's mentioned he's going to be attacking me, he's going to be attacking Hassan and iDubbbz and stuff. So it's either he ends up making a video that is sufficiently uncritical of Ethan Klein to be accepted into Ethan Klein's inner circle, which I think...
Yeah, that's probably what his intention is, more or less. Are people saying Ryan Beard, the piano dude, is a Zionist? What did he do? He's just defending Ethan Klein. like aggressively. And it's what we were talking about as well. It's like clout. It's, you know, it doesn't matter how fucked up or even toxic it is to be associated with Ethan Klein, because he pays you to be associated with him, and he has enough clout to do that and to, you know, create profit from that. I'm watching Arun's Griff Stricken Wins tomorrow, at least half of it. I'll probably split it into 2 parts. I'll do it tomorrow and then Wednesday. It is happening, I promise. I feel bad. I was sick and I didn't want to like be like not feeling good and not being able to pay attention, because it's serious stuff. Good night, banjos before bros. The fuck Hassan ripcord continues to prevail, yeah. But it extends to Hassan's politics, which are anti-genocide and anti-apartheid, which makes that shit super destructive and propagandistic. It's gross. You should invite people to play a game like Jackbox for the charity stream. That's a good idea.
I think is what he's going for here. Or he's too critical of Ethan Klein, even in his attempt to glaze him, that he ends up having Ethan Klein shit on him as a result, and he'll be left being hated both by anti-Zionists and Klein and his Zionist contingent as well. Ethan Klein is an unabashed racial supremacist Zionist, okay? There's no room for nuance here. There's no room for giving him credit. There's no room for light criticism. You don't criticize someone like this. You just denounce them plainly, as you would like a fucking Nazi propagandist, which is what he is. The Nazi propagandist,
especially someone as like blatantly uninformed as Ethan Klein. Like, dude's blindfolded when it comes to politics. And like his analysis. So everything he says is just toxic and destructive and horrible. And then he'll be like, but, you know, I'm a big fan of the Palestinians when they're peacefully protesting in the areas that are designated
the rest of
to
the
do
time,
so.
They make me really angry.
They do anything
and
else.
I want to squish them between my fingers.
They're on thin ice.
Like bugs.
Here, what would you have done to them if they were before you in 1940? Well, now you have the chance to denounce them as you would back then, because Ethan Klein's there. He's the Nazi propagandist of today, isn't he? Ethan Klein has justified bombing hospitals. He's justified the Nakba. He said Israel is an awesome, diverse place with no apartheid. He said that Israel doesn't intentionally target journalists, doesn't intentionally target children. It wouldn't do that. He says there's no apartheid. He moved to Israel voluntarily to colonize it. He calls random Arabs terrorists. He's against any action to stop the genocide, such as anti-genocide blockades. He's married to a terrorist wife who disappeared a random Palestinian man in a terrorist...
Sorry, a terrorist wife is really funny.
Raid. Like, there's nothing to say about him
like
that could be good.
And
It's like making a video...
That, and she's the bad version of it, not
Good
the
terrorist
version of
wife.
it.
Just a terrorist wife.
denouncing Nick Fuentes and trying to find positive things to say about him. There's no difference. And that's where the angles he's going to go with here. It's a fucking joke. It's a total joke. And to be clear, the only reason why I'm kind of being nice to him is because I talked to him in DMs, and he probably learned a lot from that, but he's still going to like try to make a video smearing me anyway.
Oh yeah, Ethan Klein said like, fine dude, my wife's a terrorist when he debated Hassan. It was a crazy moment.
It was really funny.
Really funny though. And I mean, she asked to be transplanted. She asked to be trans, yeah. She asked to be fucking, what's the word? Moved? Reassigned to Ramallah in the West Bank.
She thought it would have been fun.
Did she not know where it was, or did she not know about the West Bank?
I want to
or something?
go to the West Bank.
Like, what's your
Said
fucking...
Siva.
Even if you were a secretary, which I don't necessarily believe. Transferred, thank you. Transgender? I don't... That's all I can think about anymore. Yeah, I was bored. Wanted to go to an illegally occupied apartheid fucking concentration camp of Palestinians to find a terrorist.
Yeah, I wish the
Fun.
Raider of Ramallah wasn't such a hard name. They gotta stop calling her that.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't sound. It sounds too cool for her.
They gotta call her fucking terrorist wife.
Anyway, I noticed that he's basically unswayable. Because, like, I say something to him that he didn't know before, like regarding the colonization of Palestine, like that it was pre-planned for 100 years. Like, he, for example, he tried to compare the colonization of Israel, of Palestine, by Zionists to black nationalism in the USA, and I said it's not the same thing.
I think he's doing him I think Bad Empanada is doing Ryan a big favor by not showing those DMs.
Piden my queen, will we ever receive a glorp back? I miss my sweet glorp so dearly anyway. CM so it's been 1 year of subscription. Yeah.
Meow the streams, thank you for the 12 months.
Yay!
Yeah, that's crazy to say that Israel is like a black separatist movement in America. Israelis went to Israel historically. Black people were not, they didn't choose to come to America. They didn't want to come here.
This part's so funny.
I can't believe that comparison.
Obviously,
We just don't
because
know
black people were
anything.
kidnapped there, forced there against their will, enslaved. So if they want to separate, you know, if they want a little tract of land for themselves, that makes a lot of sense. And
He's not saying Ryan isn't even saying he's against black separatists. He's saying black separatist is like Israel, and that's good. He's saying Malcolm X wanted to start his own Israel
No, you don't understand. It's woke.
in America, and that would be awesome.
It's actually woke that we want to kill everybody there because it's like the black people when they tried to do it.
Israelis are just like black people if you think about it. In America specifically.
it's quite just, actually. But, you know, Zionism isn't that.
Ethan Klein would make that point.
Zionism was a long pre-planned project of racial supremacy in which settlers went somewhere and invaded it and stole it for themselves so they
Yeah,
could
it's more like a white separatist movement in Africa. Yeah, exactly. It's just like that. It's just like Rhodesia. It's just like South Africa during apartheid.
institute racial supremacy on that land. And he apparently had never thought of that. He apparently had never thought of how these things might be different. And I'm just flabbergasted that someone like that is making a video to slander anti-Zionists and to try and find something positive to say about a Zionist while calling himself a fucking anti-Zionist. Every single time I said anything to him that was objectively true, he would say that he agrees with it, and then he would throw out a clearly loaded question in response like, but do you think they should expel all the Jews? Like, but do you really think Israelis are bad people? It's like trying to find something positive to say about Nazis. Like, if you wouldn't say that sort of thing, if I were denouncing Nazis and explaining Nazism to you, and you're bringing it up in this context, you're not an anti-Zionist. The way that I explained it to
It feels like Ethan talking to Sam Cedar. What it feels like to me is when like British Channel 4 or BBC talks to an anti-Zionist. But don't you think Israel has the right to defend itself? Like fucking Piers Morgan type shit. That's what it feels like to me. But you don't understand. What do you think of Hamas?
Hamas.
to him, and I gave him the opportunity to hop on the stream and talk about this, by the way. He only wanted to talk in DMs. The way that I explained it to him was like, the way that he poses me these loaded gotcha questions in response to literally any basic anti-Zionist position that I was saying to him, it's like responding to someone who is denouncing Nazism by saying, I agree, but don't you think the German people are victims themselves for being misled by Nazism? Why? Why do you all feel the need to pose these weird, loaded questions in response to any anti-Zionist speech if you're actually an anti-Zionist? I had to explain to him what the Palestinian Authority was. He didn't know what the Palestinian Authority was. I had to explain to him why they're a collaborator organization. I had to explain to him basically like the very basics of Hamas, like how they operate. Like they're not actually an Islamist movement at all.
You good?
Yeah,
What happened?
I dropped scissors.
Okay, you dropped scissors. That's fine. That was really loud.
They are primarily a national liberation movement in every single thing they've ever done and said. It's clear. It's just so weird that someone who claims to be anti-Zionist has so many loaded gotcha questions in like the loan.
Yeah, the Zionist bullshit's too much even now for Piers Morgan. But he's jumping on this new liberal bandwagon of like, oh, well, it's just so bad now. You know, how can you even justify that?
I'll put this in case of project.
Thank you. But, you know, simultaneously been ignoring all the warning signs and the progress of genocide happening.
Box style to ask whenever you pose him a basic like anti-Zionist position. But he's just so ridiculously into the H3 cult that there's no way that he could ever unequivocally denounce Ethan Klein, regardless of how disgusting Ethan and he are today.
And yeah, like Ethan Klein is like a fucking creep to women on his stream. He's like constantly harassing them and looking for new women to talk about and harass. It's really fucking annoying and gross. I don't know how anybody who, I mean, Ryan is one of the more vocal people, at least used to be, about being a feminist. It's very odd to me. to defend someone like that while claiming to be a feminist.
Good
night, Teal Deals.
Especially, obviously, but Ethan, you know, he doesn't deserve to be given any grace just because Healy is worse. So he was confronted with the video. Remember the video of Ethan, like, outright saying, like, all the stuff that we have been saying about him with regards to, like, like Ethan said on his stream that his kids ate shit. He implied at least that his kids ate shit and that they got Giardia from it.
He said it on his stream. I don't know.
I don't know if it's real or not.
I don't know if it's real. He only said it on his stream that it happened.
Okay, and Ryan Beard started defending having shit all over your house and your kids
This was
eating it. Like, I'm fucking sorry. Like, I can't even laugh at this after talking to him
doo-doo family.
because it humanized him a little bit. And I think he's a victim of a cult, honestly. I think he's a victim of a cult. And he's also, like, too much of a narcissist, too much of an egoist. He has too much Dunning-Kruger. And he likes H3 too much as a result of this. So he posted, infection by a parasite that is 6 times less deadly than the common flu is not a justified reason for a wellness check. I had a cat growing up that would shit all over my house no matter how much my parents tried to get it to use a litter box. This does not mean I was in danger of being neglected by my parents. You were literally
Like,
Yeah, you were. You were. You actually were.
straight up, you were.
You're not supposed to live around poop from a butt.
Doesn't matter if it's like really hard to get the cat to poop right. Your parents are neglecting you and the cat in that situation. Oh my God. Especially if, you know, you contracted a parasite from eating it. That would be certainly grounds for some kind of wellness check, at least.
Like, bro doesn't know what abuse is. Clearly from how he talked about me, but, you know.
And I really am baffled by this argument of like, well, my parents did it and they're perfect. Like they're fine.
Nothing's wrong with them.
Ethan Klein's just like my dad. I would never want to say that about anything
He's my dad.
or imply that.
He's my dad. My dad. I'm just like him. I wish. Daddy.
Sorry. And he's saying, like, again, this doesn't justify a wellness check. No, it does. What do you think a wellness check is? And this goes into like my main argument about the stupid Ethan Klein CPS thing. And like, maybe it's fucking controversial or whatever, but the way he behaved that entire time, and to this day really, is such a red flag for a social worker. What, does he not think that CPS has internet and YouTube? They can see what he's saying, not just about what they're investigating, but about the investigation itself. They immediately posted a stream that said like Snark called CPS to get our kids taken away, and the whole time they're trying to break up our family, they're trying to separate our family, and it was all because they tried to see the kids at school, which is the most like seamless way to do it for the kid. And Ethan Klein refused and started talking shit about CPS and freaking out on his stream the same day. Like he was hostile to CPS, which is his own fucking fault. It's crazy that he's being enabled and babied into offloading responsibility onto Reddit and other content creators for his behavior and his treatment of his kids. That's crazy to me. It's gross.
justifying the CPS call now. To anyone outside your bubble, this makes you look totally insane. Okay, look.
Yeah, you're justifying the CPS call. And again, if the kid actually had Giardia, any doctor that knew this, as well as any teacher that knew this, would legally have to report it. By California law, they would not have a choice. They're mandated reporters, nurses too. So if that was serious, him talking about Giardia, and they found out the kid was diagnosed with Giardia, the doctor or the nurse or the hospital, wherever they went, the clinic, was who diagnosed or was who called CPS. So fucking easy to figure it out. And he didn't need to say any of this. He shared this information in order to fucking offload the responsibility. And I think he knows. I think he knows exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I think he's deluding himself to evade personal responsibility for the way he treats his kids. And I'm dead serious. And I think it's fucking gross and super irresponsible.
His kids, bro.
What a fucking horrible role model.
You think he talks to other adults bad? Imagine being his kid.
So irresponsible.
Look, my man, look.
And then like Ryan's coming in like my house had cat shit all over it growing up. Why would you even say that?
If there are kids crawling around in feces, it is absolutely justified to call CPS to get them checked on. CPS should have checked your house. And CPS themselves obviously think that. The people who work...
Like that's not a fucking... It's not a death sentence. It's making sure you were like raised ethically. I don't understand. Like, not to say that CPS is like perfect in all cases or whatever, but it's like the motivation is not malicious.
Work there. Like, you can criticize the organization as a whole all you want. The people who work there are ultimately social workers specialized in helping kids. And I'm pretty sure they know better than you or me what a shitty situation for a kid to be in is. When there is a shit-covered house, they should absolutely check it. Yes, they should, man. What are you saying? Please, this is painful. Why would you embarrass yourself like this? And I mean, he doubled down on it. He's just in a cult. He's a member of a cult, a parasocial cult. This is why there's no way that he could ever make a video outright denouncing
Soviet
Zionism.
history fact. Less Soviet history fact and more modern history fact. During 1993, the collapse of the Soviet Union, there was a last-ditch attempt to save it by people, shockingly, like Gorbachev. This event is referred to as the Black October, where pro-Soviet forces and the new liberal regime of Russia clashed. A tank literally shot into the Supreme Soviet who were holding out in the building so they could vote to save the Soviets.
Holy shit. There's not enough coverage of the and like education in like American public schools or even just like in American media on the collapse of the Soviet Union. It's such a victory lap for liberals in history, but like we get like the Berlin Wall and that's it. Like we don't hear about like the end of the Soviet Union that often. It's very interesting stuff. Anyway,
Ethan Klein's a Zionist.
he literally said the dogs are pooping everywhere. The kids are crawling around and putting everything in their mouth. Their kids have Giardia. He has Giardia. Everyone has Giardia. And I quote, "You'd have to ingest my poop to get it." And again, even if someone in on Reddit or in Denim's chat or on Twitch wanted to call CPS, you can't just do that. You can't call CPS on somebody you don't know.
That's not how that works.
Like personally in California.
He has a parasocial attachment to Ethan Klein. So he just has to find ways to paint Ethan Klein as a victim. He has to find ways that he can play the middle. It's going to backfire him on so
Yeah,
bad.
I saw this on YouTube. Can you guys go check in? Like, no. Like, Daddy of 5 has his kids back, and he's posting on TikTok. You think CPS is on that shit? Yeah.
Bad. Everyone's just going to hate him for it.
Imagine if they clip any part of this, you watching this, Ethan, like, hearing you talk about him, because I'm cleaning the whole time, and he's never seen that before in his entire life.
He's only ever seen
He'd be like, what
his
is she
maids
doing?
do that.
What is she
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
You get your wife to do that?
Or-
Is she your maid?
Well, maybe he would think, like, he thought Hassan's mom was his Hispanic maid, undocumented maid.
Yeah, he's gonna pull
That
up
I
all
paid-
the
that
N-word
he pa-
clips and say, she's Hispanic because she's cleaning. She can't say this word. She's racist.
Honestly, his N-word compilation is longer than yours, and you're mixed.
Ah! Oh my god! I love that there just exists just a mixed person saying the N-word on people's...
He said it back in the day way more than you do now on stream.
See, my strategy is I say it half the time.
50-50. That's a Kill Tony bit.
Oh, come on, come on.
Why do they think a mandatory report didn't watch this video and go, oh shit, they had to say something. A mandatory report could have diagnosed the kids too if the kids was sick, or at the school because the kids go to school. I don't know. I just don't understand. It's all the internet's fault.
You know, you can't play the fucking middle during a Zionist genocide. During a Zionist genocide, and I mean, even before the Zionist genocide, you announce the Zionists. You don't side with them on anything. There's no need for nuance. There's no need to find common ground with them. There's no need to find the good in them. You just announce them. Announce them as you would Adolf Hitler. You know, you don't talk about how Adolf Hitler was a loving husband for about 16 hours before he died, and he loved dogs and he was a vegetarian. You shit on him. This is him doubling down on that animal shit thing. Children being occasionally exposed to animal shit is not something worth calling CPS over.
Why would you say this out loud? I mean, why would you think this at all? This is just not true. This is just not true. Yes, it does. No, it definitely does. I just, like, you're just giving people ammunition to make fun of you. I just feel, I like, come on.
Someone killed me, bro.
You're saying exactly the wrong thing right now.
Yeah, man. If you have evidence, as in someone
My daddy hit me, I'm fine.
openly saying on their stream, implying that their kid is ingesting feces, that they're crawling around in it and putting it in their mouth, that is something that is worth a CPS visit. That's just a fucking fact. Yes, it is, man. That is a situation that warrants a visit. Like,
Yeah. Not wanting poop around your house is woke. Lex is cleaning the desk if you see the camera shaking. It's not an earthquake.
I don't like it as well how they're talking about CPS visits like it's swatting. It's not, man. It's not something to be traumatized over. It's not something super mega serious. Even if the CPS visit was erroneous, even if the house really wasn't as Ethan Klein implied it was on his stream, the visit's still fucking warranted to make sure it's not. To keep the kids safe. Not at all a bad thing. If CPS checked on them because they suspected, based on, rightfully by the way, on what Ethan had implied on his stream, and they checked on them, which, by the way, we don't actually know that any of this actually happened. There's still no evidence for the CPS call, but anyway, if they checked on them,
Ooh,
found...
and that's true too. She's cleaning my anti-Biden sticker.
Gotta keep it clean.
What does it say? Pro-American, anti-Biden. It's the perfect hog sticker. It's exactly how I feel.
on the house was not covered in shit, gave them the all clear, then good. The system worked. They did that job. That's what they're supposed to do. The ideal CPS visit is one that wasn't actually needed. They can't just take your children away unless they have a reason for it, like your house being covered in shit. That would be
and him like fear mongering it to his audience is so weird.
a good reason to take your kids away. And they wouldn't do that immediately anyway. Even if your house was covered in shit, they would ask you to improve it. They would ask you to fix it, and then they'd come back like in a month. So get out of here with this victim narrative. This is not swatting. He wasn't raided by SEAL Team 6. It was a social worker trained in dealing with children, trained in assuring child welfare with a clipboard. The narrative is bullshit. And that Ryan Beard is saying that, like, if your kids are crawling in shit, they shouldn't be checked on. Yes, they fucking should. This is, like, a CPS visit is nowhere near as...
It's like, I feel crazy. Like, yes, they absolutely should. Children being occasionally exposed to animal shit. We're talking like a 2-year-old, like a young baby. Sorry, wait. Footage of DDG's brother DUB and his cameraman fighting a hater who called DDG doo-doo garbage.
Yeah.
Gotta see this. Gotta see this. First of all, DDG is doo-doo garbage. Wouldn't CPS get calls about any famous person? He's got a lot of haters, and that probably where we're calling CPS before any of this. No, that's not how it works.
No.
In California, you can't just call CPS like the police. But again, if one of the kids had Giardia, the doctor or nurse
Someone
that
could,
yeah,
has the authority to.
not the authority,
Like official
the
consent.
obligation.
Yeah.
They have to.
I just mean like their job makes them the reason why they
Yeah.
have to do it.
Exactly. Like, yeah, they're literally liable legally